Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to be exploring generative AI, and specifically how it's impacting how software is developed.
Right.
This is a really interesting space that's changing rapidly. We're going to
Yeah.
be talking about, how generative AI is being used and what experts predict for the future,
Right.
and all that good stuff, and what it means for you as a stakeholder, whether
Yeah.
you're a developer, product manager, or just someone interested in tech.
Yeah.
We're going to be primarily talking about a report from MIT Technology Review Insights called Transforming Software with Generative AI,
Right.
which I highly recommend checking out. But yeah, it's a really interesting deep dive, and we're going to be uncovering a lot of stuff. So yeah, let's jump right in.
Yeah. Let's do it.
This report surveyed over 300 business leaders
Yeah.
and found some really fascinating data points about how this technology is already being used.
Yeah. 94% of the businesses that they surveyed are already using generative AI.
94%.
Yeah. In some capacity for software development.
That's a huge number. That's almost everybody.
It is. It is. It's really incredible to think about. And I think it really speaks to the potential that people are seeing.
Yeah, I think it's either like everyone's afraid of being left behind or they're really seeing the value.
I think it's probably a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely this sense of urgency in the tech world that you need to stay ahead.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think many companies are seeing this as a way to truly improve how they build software.
Yeah.
It can streamline processes, it can enhance creativity, it can even reduce costs in the long run.
Yeah.
But one thing that stood out to me in the report was that only 12% of these companies
Okay.
say it's completely revolutionized their processes so far.
Oh, wow.
So that tells us that
Yeah.
we're still in the early stages.
We're just scratching the surface.
Exactly.
And it makes you think about, like, what are the possibilities?
Absolutely.
As this technology continues to mature and as people continue to experiment with it.
Right. And I think, a lot of people, when they hear generative AI,
Yeah.
they immediately think of code generation. And while that is definitely a significant application,
Yeah.
this report shows that it's being used across the entire software development lifecycle.
The entire SDLC. So give us some examples of what that looks like in practice.
Sure. So, for example, imagine you're a designer trying to come up with a new user interface.
Yeah.
Traditionally, you might spend hours sketching,
Right.
prototyping different ideas.
Yeah.
But with generative AI, you can actually feed in your specifications. You can feed in user data. And the AI can generate multiple design concepts for you to explore, different possibilities.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of a game changer for designers, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because it allows them to focus more on the higher level creative aspects of their work.
Right. And then, for developers, generative AI can assist with tasks like generating code snippets, identifying potential bugs, suggesting optimizations. It's really like having a superpowered coding buddy,
Right.
helping you write better code faster.
That's cool.
And the report also highlights that 82% of companies are actually using generative AI in at least 2 different phases of the software development lifecycle.
Oh, wow.
So it's not just limited to one specific area.
Yeah.
They're really finding ways to integrate it across the board.
So that means it's not just about coding either. It's like maybe brainstorming requirements or documentation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example, imagine using AI to help streamline how software requirements are written.
Okay.
This could lead to improved clarity, better communication between developers and stakeholders, and ultimately a more efficient development process.
That makes sense.
Or consider AI-powered testing tools
Okay.
that can automatically generate and execute test cases, finding bugs before they even reach users.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because catching bugs early is like so important.
It's crucial. It saves time, it saves money, it prevents headaches down the road.
Yeah.
So these are just a few examples of how generative AI is being used beyond just code generation.
So it seems like there's a lot of promising stuff happening here, but what are businesses saying about their experiences? Like, are they actually seeing the benefits that they were hoping for?
Well, the report indicates that almost 75% of the business leaders they surveyed said that generative AI in the software development lifecycle is meeting or exceeding their expectations.
Wow, that's a pretty high satisfaction rate.
It is. It's really impressive.
But I guess it's still early days, right?
It is. It's still early days.
And I imagine there are some challenges that companies are facing as they try to adopt this technology.
Absolutely. one of the key hurdles is proving the return on investment.
Okay.
It's not always easy to quantify the benefits, especially when it comes to things like code quality or faster development cycles.
Yeah, how do you measure that?
Exactly. And then there's the constant need to train and upskill your workforce.
Right, because this technology is evolving so rapidly. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you keep up?
It's a huge challenge.
Mhm.
Companies are investing a lot in training programs and trying to create a culture of continuous learning.
Okay.
But it's definitely a challenge to stay ahead of the curve. And then, of course, there's the security concerns.
Right.
Ensuring the quality and security of AI-generated code is paramount.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about software that's mission critical or that handles sensitive data.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So companies are working really hard to develop best practices and safeguards to address these concerns.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that needs to be taken very seriously.
Yeah, and so it seems like while there are challenges, there's a lot of excitement around
Absolutely.
this generative AI space, and particularly its application to software development.
Yeah, and one of the things that I found really fascinating in the report was they talked about AI agents.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does a little bit.
Like, what are AI agents?
Yeah, so AI agents are basically autonomous software entities that can perform tasks and make decisions within a defined scope.
So instead of just assisting humans, these agents can actually take action and make decisions on their own during software development.
That's right. It's a pretty mind-blowing concept.
Yeah.
But it's already happening. Companies are already developing and deploying AI agents. And the report highlights that 87% of business leaders believe AI agents will lead to greater efficiencies and cost savings.
These 87%.
And 20% even believe they'll help companies get new software to market much faster.
Wow. Those are really compelling numbers.
They are. And the report even gives a concrete example of a company called Globant.
Okay.
They're building an AI agent that can automatically find and fix bugs in code.
Automatically.
Yeah.
So does that mean like human programmers are going to be out of a job?
That's a question we're going to explore in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, stay tuned, everybody. We're going to be talking about the human role in this AI-driven world.
So before the break, we were talking about AI agents and how they're already being used,
Right.
to find and fix bugs and,
Automatically.
yeah, like automatically.
It's amazing.
It is pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of people are probably wondering,
Yeah.
does this mean that human programmers are going to become obsolete?
Right. Like, are the robots taking over?
Exactly.
Is this the end of software development as we know it?
Well, the report actually suggests that humans will remain essential in software development.
Okay, so we're not all out of a job just yet.
Not just yet.
Okay, good.
But our roles will definitely evolve.
So how so? Like, what does that look like?
Well, it's not about humans versus machines.
Right.
It's about humans and machines working together,
Okay.
leveraging the strengths of both.
I like that. Yeah, it's like we each have our own unique capabilities.
Exactly.
Right.
So AI can handle those, repetitive, mundane tasks.
Like finding and fixing those bugs.
Exactly. Freeing us up to focus on those higher level thinking, creative, problem-solving tasks.
So the stuff that AI isn't so good at yet.
Exactly.
Right.
And the report specifically highlights the growing need for what they call higher level skills.
Okay, like what?
Things like architectural thinking, strategic planning, effective communication.
So let's break those down a bit. What exactly does architectural thinking mean in the context of software development?
Well, it's about being able to design complex systems that work seamlessly.
Okay.
In the past, developers might have focused on individual components of a system.
Right.
But now with AI handling some of those lower level tasks, we can zoom out.
Yeah.
We can consider the overall
And a
architecture.
big picture.
Exactly, and ensure that all the pieces fit together harmoniously.
That makes sense.
And then strategic planning.
Okay.
Why is that becoming even more crucial?
Yeah.
Well, because software is becoming more and more complex.
Right.
It's intertwined with our lives in so many ways.
Yeah, we rely on it for everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So we need to think carefully about the long-term implications of what we're building.
So thinking ahead, anticipating potential problems, ethical considerations, all of that.
Absolutely. It's about aligning software development with broader business goals.
It's not just enough to write code anymore.
Exactly. You need to be able to think strategically about the impact of your work.
Okay. And what about communication?
Oh, communication is more important than ever.
Why is that?
Well, because we're working in this, collaborative AI-driven world.
Okay.
Developers need to be able to communicate effectively with both humans and machines.
Right. So explaining complex concepts to stakeholders,
Right.
but also being able to understand what the AI is telling you.
Exactly. You need to be able to interpret the outputs of AI systems.
Okay.
So it's no longer enough to just be a coding whiz.
Right.
You also need to be a clear communicator, a collaborative team player,
Yeah.
someone who can think strategically about the bigger picture.
So it sounds like it's a pretty exciting time to be a software developer,
Absolutely.
but also a time of significant change.
It is. It's a time of adaptation.
Yeah.
Those who are eager to embrace new technologies, learn new skills, adapt to the evolving landscape, they will thrive.
That's a great message for anyone really in any field, right?
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
this AI stuff is impacting everything.
Everything.
And so the ability to adapt and learn is just crucial.
It's essential for success in the 21st century.
Absolutely. Now, we've talked a lot about developers,
Yeah,
but software development involves a lot more than just developers, right?
absolutely. It's a team effort.
So what about the other roles, like the designers, the product managers, the testers? How is AI impacting them?
That's a great question, and one that we will dive into after the break.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We've been exploring how AI is changing software development.
Right.
And specifically, we were just talking about how developers are going to have to adapt.
Yeah.
But software is more than just developers.
It's a whole ecosystem.
It's a whole team.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the other folks involved, like
Yeah.
designers, product managers, testers. What's going to happen to them?
I think it's really fascinating to consider how AI is democratizing software development in a way,
Okay.
because it's giving these other roles access to tools and capabilities that they might not have had before.
Yeah.
For example, take designers.
Okay.
Imagine AI tools that can generate UI, UX concepts
Okay.
based on, user data and design principles.
So the designer doesn't have to spend hours like drawing mock-ups or...
Exactly. They can focus more on the strategic and creative aspects of their work,
Okay.
really understanding user needs, crafting innovative experiences.
So it's like they have this AI assistant that can take care of the busy work.
Right. And that frees them up to think bigger and bolder.
That's cool. What about product managers?
Well, product managers, they're really the bridge between the business side and the development team. And with AI taking on more of that technical heavy lifting, product managers can really focus on their strengths.
Okay, which are?
Understanding market trends,
Yeah.
gathering user feedback, defining that clear product vision.
So they're becoming even more strategic?
Exactly. They're focused on the why behind the product
Yeah.
rather than getting bogged down in the how.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And AI can even assist them with things like, data analysis, competitor research, generating product roadmaps.
Oh, wow.
But it's still that human product manager who provides the strategic direction.
So again, it's that collaboration
It is.
between human and AI.
Exactly. Each leveraging their unique capabilities.
Now, what about the testers?
Oh, the testers. Well, testing is an area where AI is already making a huge impact.
Okay.
You have AI-powered tools that can automate aspects of testing, like generating test cases, executing those tests, and even identifying potential bugs.
So does that mean human testers are going to be out of a job?
Not at all. Actually, it frees them up to focus on more complex and nuanced testing scenarios.
Okay.
Things like exploratory testing, usability testing, where human intuition and judgment are still critical.
So it's about making them more effective.
Exactly. They can focus on the areas where human intelligence still outperforms AI.
Right. Now, we've talked a lot about the positive potential of AI and software development,
Right.
but we should also acknowledge that there could be some downsides.
Of course.
Mhm.
I mean, with any new technology, there are always potential challenges and risks.
So what are some things that we should be thinking about?
Well, one challenge is the rapid pace of advancement.
Yeah.
It can be difficult to keep up with the latest tools and technologies.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it seems like every day there's something new.
Exactly. And then, we need to be mindful of unintended consequences
Okay.
as AI becomes more integrated into the software development lifecycle.
So it's not just about celebrating the advancements. It's
Yeah.
also about being thoughtful and responsible.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We need to consider the potential impact on individuals, organizations, society as a whole.
Well said. So where do we go from here? Like, what's the next chapter in this whole generative AI and software development story?
The next chapter is being written right now as we speak.
Yeah.
The advancements in AI are happening at an incredible pace. It's really difficult to predict exactly what the future holds.
Yeah, but it's exciting.
It is exciting, But one thing is for sure, the way we build software is changing forever.
Yeah. It's a truly transformative time for the industry.
It is.
So what are some key takeaways that our listeners should keep in mind?
Well, I would say, embrace a growth mindset.
Okay.
Be open to continuous learning.
Yeah.
Develop those skills that will be most valuable in this AI-powered future.
So things like?
Critical thinking, creativity, problem solving, communication.
Okay.
And remember, the future of software development is not about humans versus machines.
Right.
It's about humans and needy machines working together.
Yeah, to create really amazing things.
Yeah.
That's a great note to end on.
I think so.
This has been an amazing deep dive
It has.
into the world of generative AI and the SDLC. And it's clear this technology is here to stay.
It is.
So keep learning, stay curious, and embrace the possibilities.
Absolutely. The future is unfolding right before our eyes.